Hi, I'm Ari Lax. We're back at Star City Open Pittsburgh. This is Adrian Sullivan. We're leading right into round 4. Our feature match this round is going to be Benjamin Isgur versus Ryan McKinney. Ben is playing a Bant Birthing Pod deck based off Olivier Rouel's top 8 list from French Nationals, and he looks like he's playing against Ameria Angel. Well, the deck you were just talking about a little bit before in Callblade, Ameria Angel, no gravitational shift Callblade.
Yeah, like I said before, this kind of way of playing, right? The Ameria Angel, it's powerful enough on its own to be effective, but it's not like it's going to be getting a maximum value out of Ameria Angel. It's just being like Ameria on its merits.
Yeah, it's a card. It does something. So let's see. Benjamin's deck, 4 Birthing Pod, 4 Preordain, 4 Birds, a Llanowar Elf, 4 Cobras, 2 Phantasmal Image, 4 Seagate Oracles, and then we got like the toolbox. Steelbach Replica, Obstinate Baloth, Solemn, a couple of Mary Angel of his own, a couple of Phyrexian Metamorph, Razor Hippogriff, 2 Acidic Slime, Sunlight, Wormcoil, Elish.
Right. Now, one of the things about this deck is that it basically has a very good package of stuff for its toolbox, such that, with the Hippogriffs, with the Metamorph, with Acidic Slimes, and with, he does have the Phantasmal Image ×2, right. So it's pretty much the Rouel list. Is there anything different from the Rouel? I think it's like straight up. That it gets the ability to handle most threats and be able to be resilient as well.
Yeah.
Now, his opponent, Ryan McKinney, we started talking about this a little bit, but one of the things that's kind of interesting is that it's kind of almost straddling the line between Caw-Go and Caw-Blade. Now, it has more tap-out things with Ameria Angel and Consecrated Sphinx than a more of a Caw-Go-ish will have generally. But, answers. It's got 2 Day of Judgments, it's got 2 Oblivion Rings, and then it also has
Mental Misstep in the main deck.
Yeah, Mental Misstep, and it has Everflowing Chalices. Not a full set, only 2. And Chalice is not a card you usually would see from this deck.
You usually want your cards to, you have enough lands to make all your mana. Do you really want Chalice to really get there? But that's because he's ramming into Consecrated Sphinx.
Yes. And Consecrated Sphinx ×2, which usually when we see this, it's much more common to see 1 Sphinx, or to see a Sphinx and often a Sun Titan.
He does not have Inkbald Nexus either, which is pretty important.
Right.
And he's running the 2-1 Gideon Elspeth Terrell split that we saw in the previous Callblade list from a couple weeks back.
Now, apparently Benjamin Isgur is not running exactly Rouel's list. He managed to shave the 61st card off of Rouel's list.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure which card he shaved, but he shaved something.
Yeah. I really like this Razor Hippogriff.
The Hippogriff is awesome.
Especially because your curve can be like Birthing Pod into Metamorph the Birthing Pod.
Right. And
then you Hippogriff act whichever one they try and kill, just so you can keep a pod going and going.
I think, I could be incorrect, but I think there used to be I think that there was Sylvan Ranger in Rouel's list, and I think he cut it.
I believe that.
And I'm not sure if you're experiencing what we experienced there, but regardless, going to keep going. So regardless, this is a 60-card deck that's very, very, very similar to the list that was being played by, was that Olivier, I believe, that top-aided?
Yes, it was Olivier.
Right. Now, Mental Misstep is a card that I remember being advocated essentially by numerous people, but Jerry Thompson, I think, wrote about it this last week.
Yeah.
And it's actually a card that I think is very interesting because I play a lot of red, and one of the things about red versus various Cawblade decks is you can often just kind of barely win a lot, and a lot of that barely wins is on the back of Lightning Bolt, Burst Lightning, and Goblin Guide, and Mental Misstep really helps that.
Well, specifically Goblin Guide on turn 1 is so much better.
Well, the other cards, though, are really good for that kill your Caw, you say no.
Yeah.
And here we have the match. Ben Isgur on the right, Ryan McKinney on the left. McKinney with a Cawblade variant, and Ben Isgur playing the French Bant Pod.
Isgur leads on a Preordain. Looks like he's seeing a Razor Verge Thicket and something else. Ships the Thicket. Draws a Cobra. See, Ryan's also running a split on Preordain and Ponder, which is interesting. Leaning towards Preordain, but he doesn't have... He only has 3 fetch lands to make these Ponders good. So I don't know how... I guess he does have Squadron Hawks too. But I don't know. That's going to be an interesting thing to discuss. You know, how many shuffle effects you need to make Ponder worth playing, even in a control deck.
Yeah.
Ryan also ponders off the Seachrome Coast. Leaves both on. Whoa! Oh, he ponders. There we go. I'm so used to the other one, the one
Yes.
that.
Preordain?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, interestingly, a lot of players have advocated pushing the land count up to 27, and
at
he's running.
26?
He's got 26, but he
Two
is running
spells.
5 1-mana blue search spells.
Right.
So I mean, it kind of pushes towards that territory. Then he has the.
There's a Cobra
Yep.
for Ben off a Razorwitch Thicket. Looks like he's got an image in his hand, Tectonic Edge, another Thicket possibly, and. Yeah, I don't think Ryan does not have Dismember.
Yeah.
One? Oh, he has one.
One Dismember.
That is all.
Spellskite. Now that unmolested Lotus Cobra could be a huge problem right
Looks like it's
now.
going to lead into a Birthing Pod for this turn, which then can ramp it to a Seagate Oracle if he wants it to.
Did you say that you saw another Lotus Cobra?
No, I saw.
I mean, a Phantasmal Image, I mean?
Yeah.
So he could, if he wanted to, cast Phantasmal Image.
Oh, there's another Lotus Cobra.
Oh,
too.
that works too. Same difference here. He potentially can have access to 5 mana.
Just 3.
Just only 3, so he can cast a Birthing Pod.
Yep. Probably going to try and might be able to piggyback this image off of something. Though I guess all the creatures that Ryan can cast next turn are 2-drops, so there's not really anything. So
The 3s that Benjamin Isgur has in his deck are pretty few and far between. Sylvop Replica and Seagate Oracle.
yeah.
Now, very helpfully, Benjamin Isgar's deck list is listed in casting cost order when his
Yeah.
for his creatures. Oh, you.
So Ryan looks like he plays a Scalding Tarn and is debating on his line. Let's see. So, it's got. He also does not have Spell Pierce in his deck. That's the other card that's missing from the traditional list. Looks like Birthing Pod's getting main phase into the Royal. And I played a little bit with the Callblade deck. I played against a lot of Birthing Pod decks, and that card is something you have to keep off the table. And it's probably not going to stay off the table here for long, but if that card gets going, it's something that you really have no way to trump anymore. So we can Image a Cobra, play the pod, and pay 2 and upgrade the image to a Seagate Oracle. I like that line. I don't know what else is in his hand though.
That gives him access now to 6 mana.
Yep. He might also just be holding the image for a real target. But I don't think he has another creature in his hand to start the loop, unless he doesn't really care about the Cobras, which is also reasonable with the pot of them. Choosing to tap Tectonic Edge. I guess if you're just going to use it the pod this turn, you may as well.
Casts the pod.
With 2 mana up for Spell Pierce. I kind of like paying 2 for pod here because if you then get Spell Pierce, you can still activate. And it looks like he's planning on paying 2 anyway, so he can preordain after potting away a Cobra. Nope, just
Goodbye, Lotus Cobra. You've done your job. I'm gonna let you do something else.
it's gonna be a Seagate Oracle. So it's +1 card from Birthing Pod activations. It adds up real fast.
I think I saw a Solemn Simulacrum, but I'm not sure.
He might want that in his deck because it's... I guess a Mirror Angel is probably a better card. Could be a better card.
He put a land on the bottom. I'm not sure what that card was he kept.
Yeah.
I think it was a Solemn, but I'm
I
not
guess
sure.
keeping Solemn's better, so you can directly jump into
Yeah.
Acidic Slime and start copying.
And
there we go.
I could be misseeing that as well.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure what that card was. Ryan McKinney lays a Plains and then fetches with his Scalding Tarn.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many options with this Birthing Pod deck with all the clones. It's a Sun Titan that he has. That's what it is.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Yeah, that one can come in next turn. Rebuy the Cobra. See where this goes. You can also, because of fetch land, there's only, looks like there's only 4 fetch lands in this. 6. Okay, there we got 2 Verdant Catacombs and 4 Misty Rainforest with the Lotus Cobra deck, which might be a little low, but he doesn't have that many basics. Ryan just passes back to Ben.
In they come. 1 damage from Ryan. To Ryan, I should say.
Yep.
And here, the pod can go to a 4. Goodbye, Seagate Oracle.
Phantasmal Image from copy Seagate Oracle and get upgraded to a Solemn or an Emeria Angel. Preordain can be cast first.
There's the Preordain.
Sees Tech Edge and Forest. Probably want to keep the Tectonic Edge. Your line here is probably just to start blowing up his lands and just trying to get to Acidic Slime. You have 2 LD spells in the Tectonic Edges. The Seagate Oracle can turn into a Solemn, which then turns into a Slime and gives you a bunch of lands. Yeah, this Solemn also adds a mana off the trigger, so...
He's got a classic Solemn Simulacrum, so you can actually see the likeness. Jens Thorin, yes. The Invitational winner.
Yeah, isn't Tiago's card supposed to be coming out this fall?
I think you're correct, but I'm not 100% sure. I do know that I think that any time an Invitational card gets Bakula'd or unPakula'd, it's a real shame.
Yeah.
Anytime there's an Invitational card, I don't care if it gets new art, you should see the Invitational winner in it.
Yeah. So... Ben uses the floating mana off of the Solemn Simulacrum trigger to Tectonic Edge away the Seachrome Coast.
Tapped for mana. Into the Royal with Kicker, perhaps?
Yep.
There it is.
Payo's back to the hand, which, let's see, 5. Yep, if he has a land, it's going to be out of Mana Leak range regardless. Looks like Ryan has an Arid Mesa. Can't really see the rest of his cards. Going down to 15. Still has the Spellskite in play. Yeah. Yeah, if Ben has a land, he can, any land, even a coming up with a tap land, he can landfall or pay for the pod and activate, and then get the Acidic Slime, which kills the Spellskite, and then Phantasmal Image the Spellskite and just keep attacking the mana base. And then he does have the Sun Titan in hand as opposed to in deck, which is kind of important. Otherwise, he'd be able to sack the image as a slime to get the Sun Titan, to get back the image to slime another land.
Yep.
So many loops.
I wasn't sure when Birthing Pod was printed if it's the real deal, but I think the last few weeks have shown that it is.
Yeah, it was one of the few cards that I actually immediately bought from that set because, you know, at the very least, it was a card that people would want to play with, even if it wasn't a deck that they could realistically win with. So Ryan plays Preordain, passes back. Ben draws. Still has he has the other Tectonic Edge too, so that he guaranteed has a land. Yeah, just so much land destruction.
Another 2 damage.
I think you might have wanted to. It's the same amount of damage either way. Never mind.
Mana?
I was thinking if he pods pre-combat, but he has to sack the Solemn. So
he's got 3 mana there, probably 2 life.
Yep.
2 life.
Yep. Played around Mana Leak. Played around Spell Pierce.
Played around double Spell Pierce.
No double blue. It's white. Blue.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah. Kind of hard to tell. Looks like. Birthing Pod's going to sack Solemn.
Draw a card.
First. Drawing another pod. Probably he has Razor Hippogriff, Acidic Slime.
Let's slime it.
Yep.
There we go.
Slime time. probably gonna take out. Oh, that's why you do this first main. He's supposed to do this first main phase so that he can kill the island, or he has to kill the Spellskite first. Never mind. Yeah, or he kills the Spellskite, makes him pay. Okay, yeah. I was thinking floating mana. No, this ended up all right. Yeah. So Ryan does not have the mana leak, and then yeah. Okay, this all ended up right. And then Phantasmal Image is going to blow up an island. This is like very blue, white, green land destruction we have here.
Yeah, this is basically very similar to the feel that I always got when I was playing Blue Manji against Clawblade. Like, because the Metamorphs are not as good at this job as the Phantasmal Image, but still pretty good. A follow-up Scalding Tarn from Ryan McKinney.
Yep.
And good God, now so much can happen. 6 damage from Ryan.
Let's see. He can get 3 is just Seagate Oracle and Replica. You can get a Seagate Oracle to set up a Metamorph, but you don't want to sack the Cobra. I think you have too many things to do with your infinite mana. Basically, you can sack the image.
Get an Oracle.
No, you get a 6 because it's a slime.
Oh, okay, my bad. You're out. It's a 6.
Yep, getting Wormcoil Engine for the lethal attack.
I like the Sun Titan play better, I think. Honestly.
No, I don't think he can't get it because it's in his hand, but he doesn't want to cast it from his hand.
He doesn't want to cast it. I thought it was still in his deck. My bad.
Though I think the 2 life might have been relevant, so it's not necessarily sure that his opponent doesn't have mana leak. No need to risk it.
And there we go to game 2. So Ryan McKinney is going to need to find some cards here to take care of things. Torpor Orb times 2 is going to be his big go-to.
Yeah, Torpor Orb stops Oracle, stops Osnabela, Solemn, Razor Hippogriff, Acidic Slime.
It stops an entire element of the Birthing Pod deck.
Yeah, it basically leaves him with, like, copying a Sun Titan and attacking with Sun Titans, or copying a Maria Angels. So Torpor Orb.
I think he's going to bring in the Day of Judgment. And I think he's going to bring in Flash Freeze and Jace Bellerin.
Yeah, I agree with all. Probably, I can see Revoke Existence as well.
One Revoke Existence would be fine.
Yeah. I don't know if you leave in Mental Misstep or not.
I don't think you keep it. I think.
Well, it's good against Preordain. Like, it has targets. It's just, do you want that?
I think that the minor manipulation of Preordain and the minor mana acceleration of birds and elves is not good enough for your Mental Missteps.
Board out Spellskite. Board out Everflowing Chalice. Even though it's your mana, I don't think you're going to be, like, doing critical things on those turns as opposed to tapping 2 on your main phase. Board out Elspeth Terrell. He's going to have to find a few more slots to board out than I think he necessarily wants to. Maybe you're boarding in enough answers to Pod that you can board out into the Royal, but...
I think you still want into the Royal.
Maybe...
It's just too good of a catch-all. On the other side of
board out the fourth Hawk. That was a pretty standard call against these, like, green high-end threat decks.
On the other side, what do we got?
Nature's Claim, probably don't want it. Flash Freeze, Spellskite, Obstinate Bailoff, maybe a Viridian Corruptor. I can see a Viridian Corruptor to kill a sword off a pod.
I think I would sideboard slightly different than that. I would side in 1 Viridian Corruptor.
I might also side in Spellskites, because we can assume Artifacting was going to happen.
I would side in 1 Viridian Corruptor, I would side in 1 Spellskite, and I would side in 2 Nature's Claims. The reason being that even though you know that your opponent might not be able to get the sword play going, having an answer for a sword hitting you the first time can be so significant. Just having it as an opportunity to shift the tempo of the game was always a really huge thing to do.
But let's see if he actually has cards to board out, because this deck really needs, like, all of its everything. It's Silvok Replica too to do that.
Yes.
It actually probably just wants, if anything, it only wants Spellskite to protect its pod, I think. I think you board out Obstinate Bailoff. I don't think you want that card.
Yeah, Obstinate Bailoff doesn't do anything powerful enough.
Yeah, and you also have Razor Hippogriff as a way to gain back life. Realistically, Obstinate Bailoff is the only really bad card in this deck in this matchup. I think it might just be Obstinate Bailoff or Spellskite.
I don't think Wormcoil... Well, Wormcoil is Day of Judgment insurance.
Yep. Just another threat. I don't
know that you need to be fast. I could see cutting down your birds and elves.
Yeah, the elf can probably go. Just make yourself better against Day of Judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably bring in a Spell Sky. I don't think you need the Corruptor if you have Silmark Replica, though.
That's probably reasonable.
Like, you have a card at every point in your curve that stops a Feast and Famine. You have Silmark Replica on 3. You have a Maria Angel on 4, which just clogs up the air with the bird tokens that they're never going to get through. And then you have Acidic Slime on 5.
So we both think basically Obstinate Baloth times 1 should go. Some number of birds or elves should go.
Probably just the one elf.
Yeah, and then I actually still think that you would want the 2 Nature's Claims. I mean, from Blue Manji, like with that deck, which is a different deck, I understand that. 2 Nature's Claims in a world where Stoneforge Mystic existed, but even despite that, there are Swords of Feast and Famine being run pretty heavily. Just stopping it from hitting you once was often enough.
Well,
and we got.
I think you can live through a single hit. I think the issue is just like, I just hate boarding situational answers here. So Ben leads on a preordain after Ryan plays a Seachrome Coast. Ben is also off a Seachrome Coast, looking at Acidic Slime and Seagate Oracle. So it looks like he's opting to just draw some creatures here. Ryan has another Seachrome Coast. Yeah, these swords don't look so good without the Nexuses. Looks like he attempted a Lotus Cobra's Mana Leak.
That's a huge moment in the game right there.
Yeah, if Lotus Cobra resolves, then Mana Leak is dead for the rest of the game. Well, dead if Ben wants it to be, at least.
Right. Third turn, Seagate Oracle.
Yep.
Says good.
Looks like a
Pod.
A pod and a
Bird to the bottom.
Well, a bird, but a pod and a card that wasn't a pod. I think that most of the time, if you don't already have the pod, you just have to take it. And that.
I mean, you might not be unhappy having a backup pod.
Yeah. that deck, once it gets pod going, has such different mechanics. You know, instead of just like playing out like the old momentary blink decks, only a bit worse, you have this real solid engine. So it looks like Ryan is going to play Oblivion Ring on the Seagate Oracle, as opposed to waiting for pod. Just doesn't want to get activated on, which is very reasonable.
And there's the pod, I bet.
Yep.
There it is. Go.
He has to have another answer for that.
He doesn't have very many in his deck. Yay,
Yep,
the 1 revoke existence.
Yep.
Naturally drawn, no search, no nothing, just times 1. Let's get it out of there.
Yeah.
Razor Hippogriff that.
Yeah, that's really important, actually. Ben draws a Preordain, has Tectonic Edge for the Colonnade, but probably just going to slime.
Is that a slime?
Yeah.
Slime the Colonnade.
Looks like, unless that's not a Stronghold Mana Leak I'm looking at. Nope. Oh, the Oblivion Ring.
Wow. I actually like just hitting the land.
No, once you're at 5, I think he just has mana to cast anything he wants anyways. You have the Tectonic Edge for the man land, so just getting the card, getting to another pod is really important. I'm trying to figure out what that card is with the red art over there.
I can't quite tell. He says go.
Now you might start going after lands.
Yeah. 6th mana from Ben.
Yep.
In for 3. Just in general, I feel like in matchups like this, I have a tendency to go for lands a little bit more than I think other people are.
Well, mana's really huge.
Yeah.
But I think that once your opponent hits 5 mana and hasn't shown a sign of missing a land drop, you kind of wait to see. If they miss their land, sure. If it's earlier, I agree with you, and you just want to get rid of all of their lands.
He keeps them both on top. That's a Preordain, and the other one's a Tectonic Edge, I think.
Yep. Phantasmal Image, going to become an Acidic Slime and start down the road we were talking about.
Yeah.
3
3 mana available for a leak if that is one.
Yep.
What the heck is that?
Is it a misstep? Could be cards with red art. Mana Leak, Mental Misstep.
The red we're seeing could be the flame of the Mental Misstep, but I don't think that's...
Oh, there's an Into the Royal on that Acidic Slime in response. So it looks like this Phantasmal Image is just going to have to settle for drawing a card.
Right.
Which is going to be, sending Llanowar Elf away, it looked like.
Taking Tectonic Edge.
This is a 2 Llanowar Elves. There we go. That's what I was looking at.
Yep. Lays the elf.
Yeah, definitely don't want the Elves, I think. I think you just Tech Edge. Yep. Colonnade. Okay.
I'm imagining an opponent with 3 land in play right now. Or 2.
Yeah. I don't think you can rely on them not having another one. Like, if you just played another land, killing the land is just so mediocre. Plus, drawing cards, you're probably just going to draw another LD spell.
And remember, there's Acidic Slime in hand.
Yep. So, Tectonic Edge takes out Coast. This Acidic Slime's probably coming right back down.
Attack for 2.
Good old 1/3 beats.
Here comes the slime.
Looks like he has the other slime in hand. Oh,
Flash freeze.
Yep.
Could that be the red we were seeing before?
No.
Oh, that's a Consecrated Sphinx that we were seeing.
Ah,
okay.
there we go.
Yeah.
He doesn't know about it, but that's a good reason to keep them all to 6.
Emeria Angel. That card is a monster.
Yep.
Immediately shuts down all of the action that Ben has going on the table.
Yep.
And Ben is almost out of cards right now. We've got 3 cards. It's a slime.
He's got a Preordain. He's nowhere near out of cards.
Okay.
You just draw 1 card, but you're realistically drawing so much more action.
Starts out with a slime, I bet.
Yeah.
Or he could Preordain first to see if there's anything better to do.
Let's see. Yeah. Preordain, see if you hit a pod.
Looks like a Metamorph and a Preordain. Maybe. Puts the Preordain on the bottom, gets the Metamorph.
I don't know why you bottom the Preordain, though. I think just having Preordain's awesome.
And slime.
No,
Seagate Oracle.
He's going to try and get a land so you can Metamorph, too. Probably just try and copy the...
There's a land and a Lotus Cobra.
Yeah, probably take the land. He has a Cobra in his hand he's probably going to play. And we might end up seeing one of the weirder situations.
I don't like this this line. The possibility of a Day of Judgment causing issues is just so huge.
But he has to clear his own Emeria Angel. And you're trading basically nothing. Like Seagate Oracle, Seagate Oracle, Seagate Oracle's worthless. So you're trading his Day and his Emeria Angel for your Llanowar Elf and Lotus Cobra. So this might start turning into one of those scenarios where you copy both players have a Sphinx in play.
Oh, I hate those.
Yeah. I was having a discussion with Mike Jacob about this at Pro Tour Nagoya, and he was going through like, well, I should have, if I thought, put this in my deck and this, this, and this. He had like 3 singletons in his deck just for that scenario. He was thinking he should have had, just so that he can draw his deck and have like the perfect mana, like the perfect 7 mana to like win the Sphinx Mirror.
Ryan does nothing on his turn. Ben untaps excitedly, draws a Tectonic Edge.
Oh. Yeah, Sphinx is no longer looking like what's going to happen.
1 mana from the lion or the Lotus Cobra.
The Lion's Eye Cobra?
I was going to say Lion's Eye Cobra. I don't know why. Is that a Metamorph? Maybe.
Probably missed the sequencing on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a Metamorph. Yep.
Paying 2 life, looks like. Yeah, I don't know if Metamorph was the... Yep. Okay, so just missed the sequencing, missed a bird.
He wanted the mana more than the 1/1.
Well, he gets both, right?
He gets the mana afterwards, but he wants the mana to cast it more than the 1/1. So it's either a missed sequencing or, in my mind, a missed judgment.
Yeah, playing around double mana leak, basically. Misty Rainforest, offer this... Yep, another Seagate Oracle. And there's a Nature's Claim he's not keeping. And
there you go.
Takes out Glacial Fortress. Probably take out a Seachrome Coast. You can't Sun Titan back Seachrome Coast on
Yes, correct.
Very, very marginal. Let's see. Ryan looking at his hand. Scalding time for 2 bird, well, 1 bird now, probably 1 bird later. Let's see. He's got a consecrated sphinx. Looks like a misstep in Oblivion Ring.
I would be unsurprised to see Oblivion Ring hit the Metamorph.
Yeah, which the return would be Slimier Oblivion Ring makes Metamorph.
He says go. Holding off for something better.
Probably a birthing pod.
That's
an
oh boy. A grand Cenobite.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's 1 off of playing it through Mana Leak. So he might... I think that might have changed this turn to be just Razorverse Thicket, so that next turn he can play Elvish Norn through a Mana Leak. Because if that guy sticks, everything changes.
There's the Thicket. Gets a bird.
Yep. Probably just gonna 1 floating. It's unfortunate that he has to play this Slime into the Mana Leak, but...
Slime.
I mean, assuming he's playing around Mana Leak.
He's like, okay, that's fine.
No real attacks here.
I mean, I honestly, I know he's got the fetch land, but I wouldn't be sad about attacking with my Emiria Angel. I mean, if they trade,
he is Elvish Norn. His Emiria Angel's better than his opponent.
I know that but it doesn't matter. The Elvish Norn is going to be incredibly powerful the next turn regardless. And if the Elvish Norn gets countered, then he can actually attack with his entire army of 1/3s and all the other stuff.
Well, why let the Emiria Angel, why let the bird tokens trade for something when you're just going to sweep them with Elvish Norn?
But they're not necessarily going to trade for anything. You know what I mean?
If he attacked with the Emiria Angel, they would. He'd just get 3 bird tokens in front of it and lose.
Oh, yeah, he's got 3 bird tokens, not 2. My bad.
He had 2 in the
if he had 2, my bad.
If he had 2, I agree. I'd be fine with trading Emiria tokens. Or Emiria Angels, but...
Yeah, the third token.
Yeah, the Scalding Times.
Yeah.
So, birds... That is Elvish Norn with fetch land.
Oh, he just says, yeah, you got me. Here they come.
For approximately $1.5 million. Yeah, that's 15, 18, 20, $1 million.
Yeah, there we go.
More than 20.
Ben Isgur trying to walk away with some birds.
Yep, and that is match. We just watched Benjamin Isgur take down Cobblade with his Birthing Pod deck.
Yep. And that's very, very close to the Olivier Rouel build from French Nationals. And I believe Olivier got... did he get 3rd, 4th? Or did he get 5th through 8th?
I think he was 5th through 8th, but we can see. Let's see. Looking at the other side...
Marsh Usury?
Yep, Marsh Usury turn 3 killed. We were talking about this with Tempered Steel. Usury's playing Tempered Steel. He killed John